Hello! You may have noticed, but there are a lot of superhero TV shows and movies in the world right now. There are some differences between them, but a few things seem to be mostly constant. And since this is my life, one of the things people ask about, and one of the things I actually kind of enjoy talking about with regards to the whole superhero thing, are the key differences between movies and reality. Difference number 1, secret identities. This is maybe the biggest difference between Lacey and everyone on TV and movies. Lacey has Margot Vader, her superhero name, but she's not exactly being private about her actual identity. Secret identities seem pretty unrealistic and hard to maintain, unless you have, like, a full bodysuit and mask, which also seems pretty impractical, and, I guess it just never seemed super necessary. Her family lives far away, and all our friends and everyone know what's up and can look after themselves. Plus, it seems like in the movies, the bad guys usually end up figuring them out anyway, so why bother? Which brings us to number 2, supervillains. Hopefully I'm not jinxing anything by saying this, but in movies it always seems like dastardly villains are emerging pretty much constantly. Lacey's been around a while, and as far as we can tell, there's no one else out there with any sort of abilities, and definitely no one using powers towards any evil ends. There's plenty of petty crime, but so far no plots for world domination or destruction or whatever. Difference number 3 is that the police in superhero movies always seem to be at odds with the hero. Lacey's never really had that problem with Margot. It's legal to intervene if you see someone in imminent danger or someone in the act of committing a crime. She doesn't break any laws, she doesn't use excessive force, she tries to get photos or video evidence when she can, and she calls the cops right away or somebody else does. It's basically just a superpowered citizen's arrest. Number 4. Superheroes never really go to hospitals in the movies. If they do get seriously injured, which is probably rarer than realistic, they're always giving themselves stitches or digging bullets out of themselves. I guess that's maybe a secret identity protection thing, but even if Lacey and some fictional superheroes are quicker to recover from injury, nobody's invincible, and if you get stabbed, you should probably go to a hospital. Number 5, crazy love interests, or especially love triangles. I mean, as a college student with everything going on, I barely have time to go on dates. I have no idea how anyone in those movies finds time to balance school or their job or whatever, and crime fighting, and some complicated love life, especially while hiding their identity. There are only so many hours in a day. Number 6, origin stories. Lacey hasn't been exposed to any radioactive bites, or explosions, or personal vengeance narratives, and while we do have a couple of clues and theories, there isn't a clear source of her powers, though we have been trying to figure that out. Number 7, heroes in movies always seem to just swoop in and then leave, which doesn't seem like the most universally useful course of action. This may be another thing about protecting a secret identity, but I think one of the first rules of first aid is that you're not supposed to leave the scene until other help arrives, and there can be a lot of injured people around crimes. Lacey was first aid certified even before she had powers, and last fall she took an emergency medical responder class, so she's able to, actually help people. Finally, number 8 is that it's pretty hard to find crime. You may have noticed just walking around in your day-to-day life, you don't normally pass by a huge number of criminals or people in need of rescuing. That doesn't change just because you get superpowers, and we don't exactly have a bat signal or a bat phone or anything like that. There's a lot of wandering and waiting and well-timed social media and luck involved in finding ways to help people. So if you're ever in New York and you see some crime, feel free to tweet at us. Also, probably definitely call the cops. So those have been the big differences between life and superhero movies. Feel free to comment if you want more deets. Since I'm studying a lot of literature in college, I spend a lot of time thinking about narrative structure, and which things are convenient for films and don't really work in real life. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you just any little details about our lives, but if it's appropriate, you can definitely ask, and just maybe I'll answer. If you liked this video, subscribe and tell your friends. I'll see you next week.